Hey, what's up guys? Brian with BS Bassin here, and today what we're going to do, it may be a little bit repetitive, but we're going to put the RMP or Russell Marine Products light on the back of my PowerPole. I've got the Blade edition. This is made for it. You can get it in white or black. Great thing to use, that way you don't have to take the your nav light in and out at night, keep it in your rod locker, etc. So we've got that, and then we have the PowerPole cover for the nav light. And then we have a regular PowerPole cover as well. This is going to keep my boat protected a little bit better as I'm going down the road. You know, you use a lot of road debris coming up from the back of your truck, whether you have one of those guards on the back for your tires and whatnot. But these do get chipped up pretty good. Mine are in pretty good condition, only a year old right now. And, you know, I don't have any chips on it. The other PowerPole on my other side does. But I want to keep that from happening any further. So we're going to install these PowerPole covers and the nav light, and I'm going to go through how to do each of them. So opening the box, here's your PowerPole light or your anchor light. One thing I notice about this, which I don't know if anybody made a comment, I've always changed out the bulbs in the back light with the LED. This one here is actually sealed, which is really nice. It looks like you cannot change the bulb on it. Hopefully it is LED in there, but everything's sealed and waterproof because, you know, as these power poles go down, this is going to be submerged in the water for a while. So I'm going to screw that back in. The wiring came bundled up on the inside of this. What I ended up doing was I pulled it all out, unwrapped it, and just straightened it out, because I'm sure somewhere down the line I'm going to need this pretty straight, as I believe it goes down through the power pole. Alright guys, so before we put this up there, there's a channel on each side here. Try to get that in there. Right there, you can see it a little bit going down. I tried to super glue these wires. The super glue didn't hold. What we're going to do is, let me try to get that in there. You can see that line right there. We're going to put the white wire on one side and the black wire on another side. I got a little roll of electric tape here. I'm just going to put that in there, and that's going to hold it in place for when we put it up on the power pole, that it doesn't slide out of place and pinch the wires. So I'd say this is probably one of the more important parts of the install. I'm just going to take off maybe an inch and a half piece of electric tape, that black wire, and don't do them too snug in here. You know, don't pull all the slack out and then put it in that groove. You want a little bit of room in there so that it doesn't get stretched out or anything. All right, guys. So here, if you look in there, I got a little piece of electric tape holding each side. That's going to allow us to slide it onto our power pole, and those wires aren't going to get tangled up or pinched in the actual during the installation. Alright guys, so we got our wires taped up, and the next step is actually going to be to lower your power pole and connect it to the top of it, as well as run your wires. So being that I'm in my garage, things are a bit tight here, I'm going to stand behind the power pole so I don't block your view. We're going to just lower it a little bit, and as you can see, I'm hitting something, but no big worries. This gives me enough room to work here, so you don't need, you know, your boat out of the garage completely to be able to do these. With your wires going around the outside, we're just going to slide this on top. And since your wires go in two different sides, we're just going to hold these where they're at for now. And pop this right along the top without those wires coming out of position. Double check it. Alright, our wires are still in position, so that's good. We just don't want to pinch them, and that would definitely be, there it is. You heard it snap in. These wires aren't pinched. We're going to make sure, you know, we're going to go into the holes in each actually as we bring it down. So this hole here and this hole here, we're going to pull this back up, and we're going to feed our wiring through this hole so that when it snaps down, we're not pinching it. I don't think this is explained very well in some of the other videos I've seen, but so I'm going to lift it up a little bit. I'm going to pull the wire all the way through right where it's at. I wrapped around the power pole, actually, the bottom of it. So, give me a second here. Alright. So, that hole that it lines up with, just push it through and bring it down. Same thing on the other side. That hole that it's pretty much aligning up with, take your black wire or whatever wire you ran on that side and run it through that hole. Once that's through, when you push this down, your wires aren't caught at all or snapped in, we're not going to end up fraying any of our wires. Now the next step is your kit comes with 2 bolts, 2 nuts, and everything. And what we're going to do is actually mount those. And I'm going to run the wire behind this back one first. We're going to mount those. And like I said, I want that wiring up in behind it. The back one only. So the bottom one when it's standing up, I want that wire to run behind it. I don't want it to run in between the section of the power pole there. And then there's another one up on the top. And the kit comes with 2 7/16 nuts. So we'll get these started. Real simple. And if you don't like using the power tool on this, you could use a screwdriver and like a ratcheting wrench or a socket on that. I'm just going to hit it with the 7/16 wrench and a power drill or nut driver on the other side. That's not going to go anywhere, and since the way we ran our wires in, they're not going to be pinched at all, so that also helps us. Now these wires here, we're going to run all the way down the power pole, and I want to run it up in behind the hardware going back. To do that, I'm just going to hold the 2 and pull them all the way through on one side. If you want to tape them, you can, but then when you get to the boat part of it, you may have to untape them. So I'm just going to hold these, run them up and over the hardware into the next channel. And then the same thing as we go down. We're going to keep doing that. Some people may use what's called like a fish tape. It's an electrical tool or electrician's tool. You could run it from the bottom all the way up. And we're going to run this all the way down to the bottom to where the hydraulic hoses for your power pole are. And I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Okay, so if you look here, here's where our hydraulic hoses are. I ran everything to that position, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to feed it down here and out the side of the power pole, and then feed it into the boat the same way. And if you look, you can see my wiring is all up on the inside nicely, so it's not going to get snagged on anything. Alright, so you guys could see the power cords come down. I'm following the hydraulic line. I fed them through the power pole mounting bracket and followed the hydraulic line again to here where it goes into a loom, and I cut a little slit in the loom right there so that my power wires for the light can come out. I'll follow this transducer cable in through this hole here, which all I did was take this cover off of, and from there underneath the back of the boat I will hook it into the power source for the rear light. Hey guys, so one of the things you may find is where your power cord is and where your power source for your rear light come through, really close to each other. I have my remote oil fill right in between them, so it's really hard to get around them. So what I'm doing is I'm actually going to remove the 3 screws that hold that power source out for the pole that has a light on it, or the anchor light pole. And what that's going to allow me to do is see all my electrical connections. Instead of being underneath in the back battery compartment trying to do everything tight, I'll run that wire up and out, and I'll be able to show you the connection outside of the boat, and then just push it back in and run some zip ties underneath, opposed to trying to do everything on your back, kind of slunched into the back battery compartment. Alright, I think this is a better view for you guys. You guys could see right here my light coming out, and it's really tight for me to get under here, but I'm going to try to feed this through, and I'll probably trim this a little bit, but I'm going to end up clipping this wire here and connecting these 2 to it. The bad thing here is I really don't have a whole lot of room. That when I clip this, it's probably going to fall into the compartment, so it kind of sucks, but it's kind of my only choice to do here, unless I can unpin this, which I really don't feel I'll be able to do. And the other thing you can do is try to feel if you have a connector under here, which I've got some zip ties, but I don't feel like I have a connector all I can do is try to steal a little bit. Oh, there is a connector right here. Hold on. All right, there we go. So here's the connector for it. It's all out of the boat. What I'll be able to do is put my splice in real nice, and then I'll be able to slide this back through, connect it, and I'll have power not only to the back unit, which you could run like a YOLO-Tech on, while your light is still on, so you're still legal. Alright, so I have this connector here with the spades of different size, so if you look, one's a little different than the other. The reason that is so that I don't hook the power to the ground and the ground to the power. It's pretty simple, but just another point to point out. And then I'll still be able to connect this into the regular port that it was in, but I'll be able to easily remove the wires for the PowerPole light by removing the 3 screws and taking this out, or if I have enough room in the box underneath in the storage container, I can get it there. Everything's nice, shrink wrapped. We're just going to feed it back through that hole, and then I'll connect it again, and we'll test out this PowerPole light. So here's the moment of truth. As you can see, everything's mounted up. We just wrapped up the wiring. We're going to try our nav light, and that is nice and bright. One more click. I got my anchor lights. It's staying on and off. So that wraps up that. Now I'm going to show you real quick how to put the PowerPole covers on, and we'll wrap this up. Alright guys, the last part of this video is going to be the easiest part of the video, no tools required. We have these Russell Marine product PowerPole covers. They have one that fits over the nav light, which we just installed, and then one that does not. I'm going to show you how to put one of these on. This is the non-nav light side, but mostly it just slips down the top, and then there's a strap at the bottom. But little unboxing here, I guess. Nice product, super clean. Beautiful logo on it right here. Seems like a neoprene product. And then right here on the bottom, you have the strap that's going to come around and strap. But it's also got a zipper that goes down it. So we're going to unzip it. We're going to remove that strap on the top. The strap, or the longer side on the bottom, is going to go towards the back of the boat. I'll slide that over, wrap it down, start zipping it. Nice tight snug fit on this. It's got a liner inside so that zipper's not scratching up your PowerPole. After all, these are to protect them, so that's definitely a plus. I got that zipped down all the way, and I'm going to bring the camera in and show you this bottom strap real quick. Alright, so with that pulled down, nice and snug, we have this strap here, wraps around the bottom, comes up, Velcro's on the other side. It's not going to go anywhere. These are beautiful. Everything matches my motor, so that's all good. Alright guys, as you can see, we have our Russell Marine products covers installed on our power poles, as well as the anchor light. Everything works as it should, looks beautiful. You guys should have an easy way to do it now, and a how-to video to resource if you need to while you're doing your own install. And I'd like to say thanks a lot for watching. Hit that thumbs up button below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all the how-to videos that I do, as well as the on-the-water fishing videos. Thanks for watching. BS Bassin'.